Hey y'all, and welcome back to another episode. So in my previous video, I talked about how I, and why I quit social media, how I don't have social media anymore, and the effects of social media on us. And, since I've quit social media, there are some things that I have been doing with my time. First and foremost, spending more time with Yah, praying, reading the word, um, and it's been great. Honestly, it has been really really great. And the reason my Bible looks this big is because I have interleaved it, which is I have added blank pages in so that I can take more notes, because this is not a note taking Bible. This is the scriptures Bible, and it's for just reading it. It's not for note taking. I mean, they do have, like, pages in the margins or whatnot, but yeah, that's something I've been doing, and I have noticed that it has helped a lot. And uh, it's just been, yeah, it's been great. It's helped me so much as far as, you know, fulfilling those areas of my life that I have felt like an emptiness, especially growing up without a father, without my father being in my life. And so that has been the biggest thing. I have found that I, would prefer reading the word over other books. And for a while, at least a year, I did not read any other books other than the Bible. If I sat down to read something, I was picking up the Bible. I've just recently gotten back into reading other books. So definitely spending more time with him. And I definitely need to work on fasting more. But yes, my focus has changed to being on him because he has delivered me from so many things. The next thing is doing things with my son. Recently, we went down to Galveston. We had like a beach day. It was fun. We sat in the back of my car, in the back of my SUV, and we had lunch on the beach, looking at the water. It was fun, And the thing is, we don't get to do things that often because of like time constraints, right? When I get off work, I get off work at 5, and everybody else gets off work at 5. So leaving my house to go anywhere to do something, no matter which way I go, there's always going to be traffic. But I have found ways for us to do like little things on Sundays, or if there's something, throughout the week, like we go to the park or something like that. But just to get out the house more with him, um, because social media really kept me in the house, really kept me from wanting to go anywhere. And if we did go somewhere, it was because I wanted to capture something on social media. I was missing out on like little moments with my son and looking at him through a lens when I could just have put my phone away and could have actually been looking at him, right? I think that a lot of people don't think about that. That, hey, put your phone away. It is fine. You will be all right. You know, it'll be fine. Be in the moment. Don't be in the moment looking through a lens. Like, actually look at what's happening with your own eyes. Have conversations. Um, so something else is reading. Like I said, that's one of my favorite pastimes. I've been checking out books from the library, and if I do buy books, it's from thrift books or Better World books, which are online, like kind of like a half price bookstore or like one of those secondhand bookstores, but it's online. And so you can get books for like a really good rate. Now, granted, some of them are used, but at the same time, you're saving money. These books are not being thrown away somewhere, wasting paper. But yeah, going to the library. I've been reading fiction and nonfiction books. I've really been getting into finance lately. I've been checking out audiobooks on the Libby app to listen to, um, mainly on finance. And I do read some fiction books. I read science fiction and fantasy. So getting back into reading, spending some time reading a book, and not necessarily to escape the real world, because that was one of the main reasons that I used to read, is to escape my life. But now it's just I read just to relax. It's like leisurely reading, not I'm trying to escape something that's happening or going on, or I'm not doing it for social media. I'm doing it just because I genuinely love to read. I love to cozy up with the book in bed and read. A lot of times I don't listen with music on. I used to when I was on social media because of the aesthetic of it. I actually don't like reading a book with music on. And the other thing I used to do on social media because of my attention span is I would be listening to an audiobook but also reading a book at the same time. And it wasn't the book that went with the audiobook. It would be a completely different book because I was trying to get through so many books. I can't even do that anymore, right? And with the audiobooks, I used to listen to them at 2 times speed. Now I listen to them at 1.25 or 1.5 because I'm not trying to hurry up and get through the audiobook. Like, no, I have slowed them. Like, a lot of things have changed, y'all. I'm telling you, getting off social media will change your life for the better. For the better. You know, uh, I also still do buy ebooks simply because some of the authors that I like to read, or yeah, that I like to read, they're independent authors. So a lot of times I can't find their books on Libby, even an ebook of their book on Libby. So I do have to end up going to Amazon and purchasing the ebook, which is fine. I'm okay with that because I'm, supporting an independent author. But yeah, I since I got rid of my books, I have not bought any new books. Now, a few days ago, I did buy, I think, 3 or 4 books, but they're all finance books. And I got them from, I think I got those from Thrift Books. Yeah. Or was it Better World Books? I can't remember. Um, I'll put it on the screen though where I got them from and which books I bought. But I'm really like into finance right now. And getting out of debt, where I do have some more many videos coming, getting out of debt and um saving and and investing, and the thing is like I understand that we are in the end times. However, we don't know when those times are going to happen. So I'm following what the word says when it comes to money, not necessarily depending on money. But the thing is I still have to work, right? I still have, a savings account. So I mean, since we're still here, I'm still going to, continue to do those things, but keep my mind focused on the kingdom. I'm still going to be a good steward over what Yah is giving me while I'm here. I'm not just going to forsake everything and just do what I want and just, put everything to the side and just that's it. No, we still have to steward what he's giving us. We still have to do that, right? That's another video. But yeah, so finance, I've been listening to Dave Ramsey. I'm currently listening to this audiobook. I'll put it on the screen. I can't remember. It's like Overcoming Debt. um, it was just really good because the author is like an immigrant, and she went to college and she tells her story of how she got in over $200,000 worth of debt, and it was a great story. Like it's a really good audiobook. I highly recommend it. Um, but yeah, I have been reading, like y'all, reading and like really, reading for my mental, right? I've been reading more nonfiction books than I have fiction books because my thing is keep your mind steady learning something, right? And with the finance books and the word of Yah, they kind of go hand in hand, right? Because a lot of these finance things that people are talking about and how to, handle your money, a lot of that, a lot of those things come from the Bible. Like, I don't think people understand how much of that all comes from the Bible. So, yeah, reading, trying to get, you know, stimulate my mind, stimulate my mind at all times, with things that are going to help me, with things that are productive. Like social media, it does stimulate your mind, but not in the best way, not at all. So aside from reading, something else that has to do with books is word searches, word finds. And yes, I do have the large print. Don't judge me. The mazes and the connect the dots. Yo, I used to love these, like on the back of the cereal box. Man, I used to love doing these, like the little mazes, but these are like for adults though. These are not for children because the numbers go pretty high, over 100, right? I haven't colored any of the pages, but yeah, this is something I do that I will put on some music. I will put on my noise canceling headphones and turn some music on or something, some worship music, and just sit there and just connect the dots. Or I will do a maze. The mazes are really hard. They're extremely hard. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. They're hard, right? And the thing I like to do is I'll like look at the maze first and start from the beginning, and then kind of just like look and find a trail that goes to the end. But it's hard. It's really hard, especially because it's small and the mazes are huge. And of course, the word finds. These are just really simple. These are like something that, typically you'll see like older people do. But hey, I enjoy them. And I got these from a Dollar Tree. They're like $1.25. They're, listen, go to Dollar Tree and get you some of these. Hiking. I've been getting outside. I've been exercising. That is something that, when being on social media, it's kind of hard to exercise. Even at one point tried to have like a fitness Instagram, and I was like only exercising just to post it on Instagram. That was not fun. So what I started doing is hiking. I found this place that I go hiking to, and it's so beautiful, y'all. Like the views are gorgeous. And no matter if you go in the morning or in the evening, the views are absolutely gorgeous. And so I've been getting my heart rate up, trying to build up that endurance, trying to get like cardio in because I do like fast, I do speed walking. And there are inclines. Some of those inclines are really hard. I'm not gonna lie. It's not like a straight path. You just walk around like a track or something. You're actually hiking through the woods, right? There's animals, there's deer. I'm pretty sure I saw a fox the other day and I was a little terrified, but it went away. But getting outdoors, getting sunlight, getting that natural vitamin D has also been helping because I work from home. I spend a lot of my day inside. So either I will go hiking in the morning or I will go in the evening, but I'm going hiking. I'm getting outside, for at least an hour. I do try to hike for at least an hour. So that is something I actually love doing. Y'all, I hate working out. I would always be on social media and I would be envious of those like fitness accounts, of those women who had like, fitness videos, and they would like show like, if they were doing classes and whatnot. I'm like, I wish I lived closer so I could take those classes, knowing good and well that if I lived closer, I would not be taking those classes. But I will always be envious of them. And I used to at one time on my fitness Instagram, I followed a lot of fitness people, but I also got very discouraged because I'm just like, I can't do any of what they're doing. My body would not allow me to do that. And, the way that it is now would not allow me to do a lot of those things. And these women were like, skinny, they had six packs and, they had muscles. And I was envious, that I couldn't get to that point. So I had to, yeah, step away from that. But now I have found something that I actually enjoy doing, and that's hiking through the woods. I do plan to get a bike. I do plan to start biking, y'all willing. I'm looking forward to that because I have not had a bike since I was maybe like 12. That's a long time. I have not rode a bike since then. And so I want to get a bike and start biking as well as, biking with my son just to get some more exercise, some more cardio in. YouTube content creation, in particular, longer form videos. I know y'all have seen my videos lately have been like almost an hour long. I've never posted those type of videos before, like lengthy videos. Um, I had for so long with social media, everybody has a short attention span. And so I was doing short form content. I hate doing short form content because the thing is, I feel like with short form content, you are limited in as much as you can say, as much as you can do, like the point that you're trying to get across. It was never enough time. So on TikTok, my videos would have been like, 6 or 7 minutes, but nobody's sitting through that. And so I would try to make them like a minute or less. And it's like, it was really hard, especially if I had a lot to say. So, longer form content. And I've been consistent with YouTube. I have wanted to be consistent with YouTube for so long, but I felt like nobody watches my YouTube channel. And at this point, I don't even care. It's a hobby now. It literally is like a hobby with some videos, some of those videos are for me that I'm supposed to do because y'all points me to do them. But a lot of the videos that I do, like this one, it's just like it's a hobby. Like I enjoy doing YouTube. I remember I used to vlog on YouTube years ago when I first had my son. I was a mom vlogger, and it was fun. To put up longer form content, and people would actually watch it. And now I just do. I don't care if I only get one view. I enjoy creating content on YouTube. It is fun for me. You know, and if I never get monetized, that is okay. This is fun for me. I like doing this. So that's one of the things I have been doing. I know y'all have been seeing me pump out these videos and how long they've been. It's been really fun. Now, it's not fun editing, but aside from that, it is fun. My mental health has been better. I will say that. I do have like outside stresses, um, which are like, everyday life stress things. And I the thing is, with being on social media, having the stress of like always trying to stay relevant, always trying to stay on the For You page, along with everyday life stresses, it was hard because I have both of these things piled on me, weighing heavy on me. And sometimes I wanted to combust. A lot of times I just wanted to run away. I did. I wanted to run away and just hide for like a few days. Send my son with his dad or my mom and just run away for a few days, not tell anybody where I'm going, nothing. Just run away. And now it's like I don't need what am I running away for? Because now thinking back on it, even if I ran away, when I came back, those same issues I would still have, especially being on social media. But now it's like I can think clearly. So one of the things when I was on social media, I used to drink uh, alcohol and I used to take edibles because I could not sleep at night, y'all. I could not sleep at night. I would need to either be somewhat inebriated or I would need to heavily be under the influence of what I call them adult candies, right? Because I could not sleep. My mind was always going, thinking about the next video I can make, thinking about a sound that I can make, thinking about a skit or just something that I can do as far as social media. I was always thinking about social freaking media. And I had to take things in order for me to go to sleep because I would not go to sleep. I would stay up all night scrolling, like trying to find sounds to use, trying to find, inspiration for different types of videos, especially for book content. And it was like I can't. Like my mental health was so bad, y'all. It was so bad. Not to a point where I had like, thoughts of self-harm, but like to the point where I was just like I need to stop, but I can't. It was an addiction that I had to break. In order to stay with that addiction, I had to find some way, something to help me to sleep. Now, there are some nights that I have, a hard time sleeping, but most nights I get a good night's sleep. I am asleep by 8 o'clock, right? Between 8 and 9 o'clock, I am asleep. And it used to be that I would be up until like 11, midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, cannot sleep. My mind is like racing, like always going. And it's like, how do I quiet the noise? And with the gummies, the edibles, they quieted the noise. They quieted the noise because it would put you like a very, like a like lull you to sleep. You would be in like I don't want to say subdued state, but it would literally shut your mind off and you wouldn't be thinking anything. And I used to live for that at nighttime. I would used to live for nighttime where I could take a gummy and I wouldn't have to think about anything and I could just go to sleep. And looking back on it, I'm just like, it was bad. It was really, really bad that I could not go to sleep without it. I literally, there were nights that I was up all night because I could not go to sleep. And that was really, that was weighing heavy on me. And then I would, get up in the morning having not slept, snapping at my son. Or at that time, I was not working from home. Um, but part of that time I was working from home. I wasn't a very good person to be around. I was always angry because I wasn't sleeping, and it was just terrible, y'all. It was terrible. But now it's like I wake up in the morning, I'm so excited, like to go hiking. I'm so excited for a new day. And I just wanted to stay asleep, right? So, um, being on social media also, I feel less influenced by other people's thoughts, other people's doctrines, other people's just everything. You know, I feel less influenced to buy certain things. I get the latest book because my TikTok feed used to be like all the newest books that were coming. People would post, even on Instagram, they would post like, you know, new releases for March, new releases for 2024, 2023, you know, new releases this week. And it's just like a lot of those books I wanted to read. I was like, I have to get the new release because people are going to be talking about it. I have to get this book. I have to get this for my library. I have to get, you know, this, that, and the other. And it's like I'm less influenced to buy things. I'm less influenced to think certain ways, especially even last year in 2024 when I was on Christian Talk. It was still, I was still being influenced to think certain ways that do not coincide with what the Bible says. And and that's not to say that YouTube doesn't do that, but on YouTube, I can pick and choose what I want to watch. I'm not being forced to watch something. Like I'm not being forced to have something on my feed that the video ends up playing like TikTok does. Like it just automatically plays. And so with YouTube, I can kind of curate and only watch videos of the people I follow. I mean, yes, there is like the homepage, and a lot of times they will. YouTube has been pretty good about the algorithm of the type of videos I would want to watch, so I will say that that's been good. But yeah, less influenced to buy things. And I will say that on YouTube, I am also still less influenced to buy things because the videos that I watch, people are not trying to get you to buy something. Very rarely do I watch a video that is sponsored by something, right? And if I do, a lot of times it's something I don't want. It's like not even just a tangible thing. It could be like Skillshare, you know, like to learn something new. It's not all the time something that is tangible. It's like something that's or like online, like a course or a VPN or something like that. Things that I'm not too much interested in, but less influence to like buy things, less influence to try to live a certain life, less influence to think that that's, you know, since I'm a single mom, if I'm not taking my child on a vacation every other month, that makes me less of a single mom. It's been so good to not feel less than, even though I know cognitively, I know that that person is lying. I know that person is in debt trying to do all these different things. I know that, but still, the aesthetic of it is something that I wanted. And I was heavily influenced by a lot of things. I was heavily influenced by some of the things that people were saying on Christian TikTok, you know, that would make me question things. But since I haven't been on there and I've been actually reading the word for myself, I'm realizing like those are lies, you know. And I'm not gonna get, you know, too deep into that, but being less influenced feels really good. Like honestly, I feel like I am in a secret club not being on social media. I feel like I'm in a secret club, you know, of like outcasts and outsiders because I don't know the latest things that are going on, right? I don't know what's happening over there. I don't know like the trends or anything like that. I don't know what's going on and I feel so good. You know, I've heard people say that they have FOMO, the fear of missing out, you know, not being on social media because they don't know like the latest things and all of that and they like, you know, being influenced. And I'm just like I don't like that. You know, I have JOMO, the joy of missing out, because I don't care what's going on in the TikTok streets. I don't care what's going on in the Instagram streets or the X streets or the Snapchat or Threads or Lemon8, which I never had that. I was like, wow, what is this for? Why does an app have an app? You know? And then you see all these posts, especially on Instagram, where, you know, they had the little box in between posts of like what people were posting on threads to try to influence you to get a threads account. And I did have one at one point and I was like, this is just like Twitter. I don't like it. and I deleted it. I deleted it because I'm just like, this is just like like there's no social media that is different, right? You know, because with YouTube, even though it was around before TikTok, YouTube has shorts now, right? Where you can do like short form content. And I'll watch shorts here and there, but I actually prefer the longer form content. Like when I find a video that about something I'm interested in and see that it's like over 30 minutes, especially if it's over an hour, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm clicking on it. Okay. I am clicking on it. I love longer videos. I've noticed that, you know. But yeah, the next thing is I've saved money and there's less overconsumption, right? Especially like with um the TikTok shop because I was an influencer and I was able to get like free samples from the TikTok shop. I would get like a bunch of free things, and not necessarily things that I didn't need. Like for example, I saw a shower head and I still have that shower head to this day. I still use that shower head. I absolutely enjoy the shower head. I do, right? I got a mic off of there that I use to make my videos, you know, that I still use. Granted, I got a new iPhone that has a different little thing in it, but the free mics that I got off YouTube, off TikTok, I can use on my iPad, right? So I got things that I actually used. Now, did I always post about these things? No, because it's tiring trying to post about things just to be able to get free things, right? To be able to get more free samples, you had to post about the samples that you got. You know, I got a lot of clothes off of there, a lot of my dresses that I wear, still to this day, almost a year later, dresses that I wear, I got off there. A lot of free dresses, a lot of free clothes, a lot of the free things that I got off of there, I still have to this day, and they're being used. But it was just like it was getting to a point where I was just like, anytime I can get a free sample of something, click, click, click. And you know, even if I couldn't get a free sample, if I really wanted something, I would buy it, right? Like the other thing I said, I haven't bought books. I have not bought any books except for the ones I just bought for from the thrift bookstore. So I have not bought the latest new book of. Actually, no, I take that back. I did buy a new ebook. It was $4.99, and it was the third book in like a series that I was already reading by Faith Arsenal. So um, I've been buying ebooks, right? Like I said before, I've been going to the library. I've been using the Libby app. I've been spending a whole lot less money on books. I used to stay in Barnes and Noble. Do you hear me? Barnes and Noble and getting shipments from Amazon just to get like the latest book. Let me tell you something. My pre-order list used to be so long, and by the time the money came out, I would forget what it was for because I would see a charge on my account for something. And I'm like, what is this for? I would get an email that, oh, this money has been taken out for this, that, or the other. I'm just like, what is this for? What is this for? And I would have to go to my account and be like, oh, I forgot about that. Because I pre order books like as soon as they went on pre order and the book didn't come out for like another year, right? Another 6 months to a year. I would pre order and I have, or even though that money is not coming out of my account until the book ships, I still had a lot of money that was going to be coming out, and it got so bad, y'all. It was bad, but less money, right? Less money, and with that, because I was on social media so much, I was rarely cooking. So I'm like, I would just order like from Grubhub or Uber Eats or whatever for both me and my son, or just me for the summertime. And my son's with his dad. I would just order Uber Eats like for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like it was really bad, really, really bad because I'm just like, I'm on social media. I don't have time to cook. I can't watch TikTok or Instagram and cook at the same time. So I was like, you know what? I'll just order food, have it delivered. That way I don't have to get up from the spot and I can just watch, continue to watch, have the food delivered, get the food, sit down and eat the food as I'm still watching social media. So I was spending a whole lot of money, like in various places with being on social media. And these are things that people don't talk about, like how much money you spend being on social media, especially TikTok. You know, when you have people who are, you know, with the rise of influencers, man, when I tell you, with the rise of influencers and those who promote products, there were TikTok pages that were just devoted to promoting products from the TikTok shop. These people were making bank, right? And they would be promoting things. There was this one woman I followed. She was a plus size woman, and she was promoting like the different things that she got from the TikTok shop. And I would go in the TikTok shop and try to get that thing too. I'd try to get a free sample. If not, I'd buy it. And it was just, it was, I can't. I think I still have my budget planner from, no, I don't, from 2023. From 2021 to 2023, I wish I still had my budget planner so I can tell y'all how much money I spent in those years, especially on books. Especially on books. I wish I still had that, but I don't, unfortunately. Unfortunately. I don't. But yeah, I've been saving a lot more money. And one of the last things is increased attention span. And I talked about this a little while ago about watching longer form content because I used to could not sit down and watch a 30-minute YouTube video. I couldn't even watch a 5 to 10-minute YouTube video. And it got to a point where on TikTok, I can barely get through 30 seconds of a video before I'm swiping. Even if it was something that I was interested in, it was hard for me to sit there for 30 seconds or a minute and listen to it. I'm just like anxiously waiting until they're done. Like, okay, this is good. I like this, swipe to the next thing. And I've also been able to read longer blog posts. Yeah. I don't know if people read blog posts anymore, but there are some people who still like have blogs, who still post blogs. And there's one that I follow that I like to read. It's called Moving Mindset Ministry. And he posts extremely long vlogs, extremely long. And I'll read them. And sometimes he'll post like the audio with the blog, and I'll just listen to the audio as I'm reading, or I'll just listen to the audio kind of like a podcast. But it's like, yeah, I can sit down like and read a blog post. I can sit down now and actually take my time and read a book for hours and not actually skim the book. Because that was something that I used to do is when I was, heavy on book talk, I would skim pages. That's how I got through a lot of books. Now, granted, yes, I would retain the information, but ask me about that book today. Ask me about a book that I read in 2023, 2022, 2024. I can't tell you because of how fast I was reading, especially the audiobooks, right? So now I can sit down and like actually read the full page. And now it's taking me actually longer to get through books as opposed to how it used to be. I'm currently reading a book that is like, I don't know, like between 400 and 500 pages, and it's been like 3 weeks. It's been 3 weeks, and I'm having, a great time reading the book, but it's taking forever to get through it because I have slowed down. My attention span has gotten so much better, right? Because it was like I didn't have a lot of time for a lot of things, right? I didn't have time to like listen to like the stories my son was trying to tell me because he's trying to find the words. And now I just find myself, just waiting patiently for him to get all the words together to tell me what it is that he needs to say. And even with listening to other people talk, um, depend on the person. And I know that a friend of mine is going to say something about this. I try not to listen to people talk at 2 times speed if they're talking to me on an app where I can speed up what they're saying. I do try not to do that. But some people talk really slow. I will say that some people do talk really slow, but I'm actually trying to actively listen to people as they're speaking and not, be like, okay, are they almost done? Are they almost done? Even like in the grocery store, waiting in line, I have more patience. Because it used to be like, oh my gosh, this is taking forever. It's taking forever. Let me look on TikTok. Oh, you're still not done. Come on. And now I just stand there. I don't look on my phone. Majority of the time, I don't look on my phone. But I've since deleted like YouTube off my phone, so I don't have anything on my phone to look at unless I'm like messaging somebody. or looking at an email. But I, yeah, it's, my attention span has been so great. It's been so great. And I'm just like, wow, it's created more patience in me, if that makes sense. But yeah, social media being off it has like, it's a new world, new world. So I thank y'all for rocking with me through this video. But highly consider what being off social media can do for you. Like maybe take a month off of social media, all socials, delete the apps, and kind of just sit with yourself. One woman I saw on YouTube, she was saying that she spent a lot of time staring at the wall because one, it helped her to think, to sit with her thoughts. That's another thing about the mental aspect of it, is that people don't want to sit with their thoughts. They're scared to sit with their thoughts because of what, thoughts might come to them. But sometimes you need to just sit and think, right? Do not be afraid of your thoughts. There are some thoughts that may come into your head that you may need to just cast down, but there are some things that you do need to think about. If you have done something wrong lately, you maybe need to think about your actions behind why you did it, right? So there's times that you need to sit there and think, and just be quiet. I enjoy my own company. Not too many people can say that, which is why, you have TikTok, you have social media to go to, because you don't want to just sit with yourself, with your thoughts, and enjoy your own company. You want to feel like you're a part of somebody else's life, because your life may not be all that great. But the thing is, you should sit with yourself at some point. Sit with yourself and just get to know yourself. I think a lot of people don't know who they are because of who they pretend to be on social media. And I said this in my last video, like people can be whoever they want to be on social media. They don't have to be themselves. They can put on this facade, they can put on, a costume or outfit and be somebody completely different. They can cosplay, right? So learn to just be by yourself, be yourself without social media. Because I think that there's going to come to a point where there's not going to be any social media, or people are not going to be allowed to post on social media. Social media will become another form of manipulation as far as the news outlets. It'll be overrun by the government. So think of what, life was like before social media, and think about it now, and think about what it could be again if you got off social media.